Steve Carell's personification of Maxwell Smart and Anne Hathaway's of 99 are really, really fun and really original and fresh.
Freeze.
Freeze.
Hey, you freeze.
You freeze.
I told you to
Freeze times infinity.
Pete and I, we were told that Steve Carell was interested in playing Max. And we thought, oh my God, well, that's perfect. That's perfect. We have to go for that one.
The pairing was incredibly important to find that person who Carell could play off of, who also would be funny, but able to support his brand of comedy as well.
I'm going to cause a diversion and you run and get help.
I really don't think that's it.
Shh.
Did you just
Shh.
Did you just
The search for 99 was amazing because it was easier to count the number of actresses who did not want to do the role than the ones who did. Everyone was dying to do it. I think a lot because this role has a lot of great humor with a really strong woman.
I am a master in the art of warang do. I was not ready.
That's my point.
Yeah, you know what?
Hey!
I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, that's my point.
When Anne came in, the first thing I thought when I met with her was, I think you're too young. I'm not sure that, you have the maturity for this. And she said, yeah, I kind of could tell in your eyes that that's what you're thinking, but I would really like to try. I'd like to sit down with Steve and I'd like to show you what I'm capable of.
Our entire partnership has consisted entirely of me getting you out of trouble. And do you want to know why that keeps happening? It's because you won't listen and you lead too much, okay? So this is how we're going to change that. I lead now.
When they sat down, sparks just started to fly, and I'm not kidding. She knew that Steve was a very good improvisational actor.
That's what I look like.
So when she sat down, she knew that at some point, he was gonna take the bridle off and just gallop around the corral, and she was gonna have to try to keep up, and she would either do it or fail miserably.
You're a moron.
Look at the size of that guy. Crush his pinky.
Well, I could do that.
I know.
Not only did she keep up, but some of the ad-lib responses that she gave to him, we put into the script, and they're in the movie now.
Take out my gun, and I would shoot.
You don't have a gun.
I did until you took it.
Bang, you're dead.
No, I'm not.
Bang.
No? Okay. Excuse me, I was talking.
Bang,
When
bang,
you shoot
bang, bang.
me.
What more?
Bang,
Don't
bang.
shoot. Please stop shooting me. Stop it.
Bang.
Stop shooting me more. You already said I was. Hey.
Anne Hathaway, she became really the perfect counterpart to Steve Carell.
I might have initially said that Anne Hathaway would not be hot enough to share the screen with me. That in watching the movie, it might be sort of evident and that all eyes would focus on me. I feel sort of sad for her because she does not look extremely hot in leather jumpsuits. She just doesn't. Whereas I do.
Steve, he almost didn't get this role because they said that he was too good looking. I'm very intimidated. That's one of the reasons why I'm just really trying to push it with the hair and makeup, is to try to go up to his level.
That's impressive. Wow.
You put Brad Pitt against almost any woman, they're going to be looking at Brad Pitt. And pretty much the same applies to our pairing. You put me and Brad Pitt in a movie, that's just a trade-off. It's like, where do you look? Your eyes are going to go. You could say I am very hot in this movie. I'm hot. I'm a hot action star. It turned out to be a big action spy comedy. And sometimes you don't even know what to put first. Is it a comedy? Is it an action movie? Is it a combination of the two?
I'm gonna try to get us over to that ledge. Missed it by that much.
My name hasn't been synonymous with action hero. It's something that I always knew I would be.
Mr. Marshall, you're under arrest!
Sir, I believe you just shattered my coccyx. That was absolutely excruciating. Is that your gun?
No!
Oh, dear.
From a young lad, I always knew that I would eventually make my mark as an action hero. I'd watch Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I watched Sylvester Stallone and Bruce Willis, and I thought, well, that's pretty much my forte.
The two most unlikely action heroes you're ever going to see, Anne Hathaway and Steve Carell. Of all the titles and ambitions we had, I don't think action stars were in the mix. The Rock, you're not surprised by, but...
You punch like a girl! Like a 280-pound girl.
You gotta realize who's a star and who's not. And on this movie, there's only one. Not Carell, it's me. It's Dwayne Johnson. Uncle Handsome, as I'm known.
It's not over, Max. I'll take that briefcase. If you want it, you'll have to take it. That's what I just said.
Pete Segal said, do you mind doing some of your own stunts? And I thought, of course, it sounds great.
They've been so nice to us, trying to get us to do as much of it as we can. I remember at one point when I was climbing on top of a burning SUV that was going 40 miles an hour, and with Steve Carell and The Rock, I remember thinking, I have to call my mom just to be able to say that out loud.
There are moments where I'm hanging off of planes and I'm flying behind buses and I'm having rooftop fights, and certainly nothing that I ever thought I'd do in a million years.
Oh, wow. Oh, herniated.
Do you give up? Do you give up? Please give up.
In the beginning of filming, we had a sort of halfway party, and they cut together a little reel for us to show what the movie was looking like. And I turned to Steve in the middle of it, and I said, I thought we were making a comedy. And he said, I know. And it's a full-on bombs going off, cars exploding, people getting beaten up, stunt sequences, action movie. Who knew?
Max? Yep, still fighting.
The dance sequence was so much fun to film. It was like one of my favorite memories from this whole film.
I am going to dance now. You go get yourself some punch.
Oh, God. Which was harder, ballroom dancing or fighting a person who is 7'6"?
The dancing scene by far much harder than beating up the 7'6" giant.
The dancing was really fun. Everybody practiced and wanted to make it look really good. I'm a fantastic dancer, and so it really came into play. I did annoy people because when we rehearsed, I always wore a unitard.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, take her around. Nice.
Jamal Sims and Zach Woodley were our choreographers on this movie. They took everybody that did not know how to dance and they turned them into professionals. The only person who had some kind of dance background was Anne, so she was a natural. But David and Lindsay, and especially Steve, were completely terrified.
That was weird.
Anytime you approach a scene you know is so funny, you get nervous because you don't want to screw it up. For me, one of those moments was the dance sequence. It's not just about shooting it and getting the shots. You then have to make sure that you're getting all the moments. In there is a story, and in there also is the comedic story.
There was ballroom dancing, but at the same time, you're doing jokes. So you're doing ballroom dancing, jokes, and big physical humor.
Thanks for jumping.
I was a kid. I was just like a moviegoer. I was Joe Popcorn on the sidelines, and I wasn't acting like a director. I was just looking at them saying, wow, they're dancing real good. And you know, the music was going, and it looked spectacular. It's one of my favorite scenes in the movie, and is actually one of the crowd's favorite scenes in the movie.
That was so cool!
You always want to look for and hope that you get actors who can not only be funny,
Oh, that burns! Ah!
but can really have really got great chops. So they can really like deliver the lines.
23, you kill me. I could if I wanted to. Yes, you go.
It was just stunning how much wonderful colors that they gave to each of the performances. It's the thing that you really hope you're going to get.
I think you have underestimated me and the element of surprise!
Hi there, here's today's Daily Fact. The famous chest waxing scene in The 40-Year-Old Virgin looks so realistic because it is. Steve Carell, whose hairs were being ripped out, wanted the scene to look as true to reality as possible. And with 5 cameras rolling, it was done in one take. Ouch! Remember to click here below to subscribe on the side for more great content.